Hi CS team, I'm just making a little video to walk you through the brand new sector unit planners that we're putting together. I've made one that is custom made for Christian Studies. It is basically identical to the MYP unit planner, just with a few slight adjustments. So I'll show you an example. I'm using Ben's timetable here. So you come to your class, click along here to your unit planner. I've just made an exemplar Christian Studies unit planner. To select the right unit planner, you simply come down here and make sure you click the GSLC Christian Studies unit planner. There's one for design. You can see down the bottom there's different design features. There's one for arts, which is a different arts cycle. There's the GSLC MIP unit planner, which is basically identical to the Christian Studies unit planner, just with some slight changes. So we come here to obviously place in our concepts, our Christian Studies objectives. We then have our global context and area of exploration, our statement of inquiry. Then obviously have our factual, conceptual and debatable questions. If you click the little question mark here, there's actual prompts to help you write those questions. Prompts here to help write the questions for you and the students. I know that we're working towards co-designing unit planners. There's a way that you can guide that conversation. These are in the wrong order, so they actually should be here. That should be in this box, this one should be in this box. It's just a glitch on SEQTA's end. They're just working, finalising it out. If you want to print out the final copy, I'll show you shortly how it actually prints out in the right order. So once again, we can come here and there's an example, or there's the guide to choosing an IB/ATL school category and an MYP school cluster, and also the page numbers for principles into practice. There's the A to what to do, so describe the ATL learning experiences in 1 to 2 sentences, what to actually place in this section. Then as we come down, we obviously have our objectives, our Christian Studies objectives. We then have after that the description of the assessment task, and then we link it back to the statement of inquiry. Once again, that needs to be in the right order. It's just SEQTA's being a bit silly at the moment. So then we come down and we place in our content, so our Christian Studies curriculum framework content. We then come along here, and most of the subjects just have the learner profile. However, Ben has discussed before having a scripture focus. So I've added a place to actually place a scripture focus. So select a scripture that connects with the statement of inquiry, for students to connect with, explore and find hope in throughout the CS inquiry unit. Perhaps a memory verse or something. Then as we scroll down, we come here to the actual inquiry cycle. So tuning in, finding out, sorting out, making conclusions, going further, reflecting, taking action. Once again, going further should be here, then formative assessment and differentiation. However, SEQTA's just being silly. So once again, if you click this little question mark, I've actually got a whole series of prompts to guide you through planning for tuning in. So we start with questions to ask, and we ask for tuning in. So what are we planning for students to do? What's our role? Questions we can ask. And then also questions we can ask the learning experiences and the possible thinking strategies and tools to employ. So think, wink, decide, 5 Ys, 5 Ws, 1 H, brainstorming, mystery bag of objects, the whole variety. And you'll see here every single section of our inquiry cycle has a long list of prompts that can work as guides, visible thinking strategies. There's just a wealth of resources here that can help guide you. We have some links to different websites that can guide you in the planning. We then obviously here have our formative assessments, so what we're teaching, how we're teaching it, how well they've learned, and then obviously how we're changing it for those who need adjustments. Click on the formative assessment. Just some questions we can ask for formative assessment. I can add some prompts later on perhaps. Then differentiation. Questions to ask as we plan for differentiation. Also lots of different tools for differentiation that you can use to help you differentiate for the variety of students in your classroom. So we then come down here to resources, and there's our resources section. Just to add that in there, making sure we use academic honesty. And then also the reflection section, so reflection prior to teaching the unit. What are some questions we can ask? Reflection during teaching, and then reflection after teaching as well. So to give you an example of a final copy, I'll just come to my unit planner. So excuse that, that's just the stupid part in the background. So we come to mine, click on Laura, so my unit planner, Kieran and I have finalised our poetry unit for Step Up, and so there's our perspectives unit. Using the new unit planner, you can see that down here it is a little bit messy. So this should actually be here, but it's actually there. Once again, all out of order. However, when we print it, you'll see that it actually comes up in the correct order. It's just a glitch that developers need to iron out. There's our concepts, objectives, global context, area of exploration, statement of inquiry, our factual, conceptual, debatable questions, our IB/ATL school category, NYP school cluster, so what I've actually chosen for the school category, the NYP school cluster, and how I'm actually going to be teaching this. Once again, my social, the collaboration skills NYP cluster, how I'm going to be teaching empathy or the practice of empathy. Then it's got my objectives, this is what we're actually assessing, criteria B, C, and D, a description of the assessment task, then the relationship with the statement of inquiry. We then have our content from the Australian curriculum for this term, our learner profile focus, and then we come down, we have our learning experiences for tuning in, formative assessment, and our differentiation. And it follows that even flow, our finding out, formative assessment, differentiation, sorting out, making conclusions, all the way through. So it follows that same cycle. Then our resources and our reflections throughout the past couple of years. So from here on out, can you please make sure that you use that unit planner, the GSLC Christian Studies unit planner, for all your planning within Christian Studies. Thanks.